Katie. This is my vlog where I talk about all the things I love about sewing. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, we've just hit the 4,000 subscribers mark and I'm so pleased. Thanks so much for clicking that button. And if this is your first time here, then today is going to be the so many questions tag, so hopefully you'll get to know me a bit better. I am wearing, oh, my so favourite, this is not strictly sewing related, this t-shirt. Oh, I'm so excited about it. I was watching, oh, the name of it's gone out of my head. Killing Eve. I was watching Killing Eve on BBC Iplayer, and Villanelle, the lead character, had this amazing t-shirt on with lips on the front of it. And I immediately Googled it and found it was completely out of stock, typically. But I thought, I don't need to worry about that. I have a white t-shirt in my cupboard, I've got a Cricut machine, and so I created my own sort of homage to the t-shirt. Obviously it's for my own personal use, so I wouldn't ever advocate ripping off anybody else's designs, but it's not exactly the same, it's slightly different. But yeah, I've got these enormous lips on my t-shirt today, and I'm wearing it with my Kinder Cardigan, which is literally like one of my most favourite sews to date. I've worn it pretty much the minute it came off the sewing machine. This is from the Wendy book, and if you want to go back and check out my previous video, I'll put the link up here. You can see me talking more about this pattern, but it's like a coatigan, and seriously I've been wearing it pretty much nearly every day. It looks great with all sorts of different things, but I'm particularly liking it today with my funky t-shirt and just a pair of ready-to-wear grey jeans. So yeah, let's crack on with these questions then. I'm going to put in the drop-down box below the list of contributors to this vlogger question that's been going around. There were, I think, 20 questions, maybe 40 actually, that you could choose from, but I'm not going to answer all those today because we'll be here all week. But if you want to click the little arrow down below and open up the box of information, I'll pop all the contributors. They're all really talented sewists who've got vlogs, so go and check their channels out. So the first question, how and when did you start sewing? So I started sewing when I was a child actually. My mum was soft furnishings seamstress. She used to make cushion covers, sofa covers, curtains, and we're talking proper huge swags and tails and amazing stuff. And so I grew up around a sewing machine. One of my first memories actually is mucking about underneath her Singer, which had like a metal treadle foot underneath. So you had obviously had an industrial sewing machine. So I can remember messing around near her feet when she was pressing that big treadle down, sewing along. The house was always full of noise from the sewing machine, so yeah, I sort of grew up around it. And when I became sort of 11 or 12, I was really into, there was a programme on telly called The Clothes Show, which was a fashion show really. It sort of talked about the catwalk trends and stuff, so I loved watching that. And then I had a scrapbook full of designs that I would draw out, and I had an old Singer sewing machine with a crank handle in a wooden box, and I used to sit up in my bedroom and just knock out these sort of like crazy designs in my bedroom. So yeah, I've been sewing since I was a child really, and I'm really glad that my own children have had the opportunity to learn how to sew as well, because I think it's such a creative talent to have. The next question is, what is your dream job? So those of you that don't know me already, I'm a paediatric nurse. I've worked in neonatology for a long time and just recently swapped jobs, so I'm now still looking after newborn babies, but in a slightly different way, coordinating this screening programme for checking hearing and the physical examination and blood spot tests that they do. But my dream job, I think, would be, it's a tricky one, either a fashion designer. I would have loved to have done that. Or I really wanted to be on the stage in musical theatre, so that would have been amazing. I actually did my work experience when I was 15 in the West End of London, working behind the scenes on some amazing shows. So yeah, I think probably that would be my dream job. Next question is, Where do you sew? So I sew in a corner of our dining room. I don't have a dedicated sort of like room, it's just a corner. I'll try and pop you a picture in so you can see it. I recently, well, not that recently actually, a while ago I overhauled the area and made the space a little bit more organised and stuff, and did an IKEA haul video for that, so you can pop back on my channel list and see that. And yeah, it's organised chaos a lot of the time. I try and keep it neat because obviously it's right in the middle of our living area, so I would love a shed or some dedicated space so I could properly spread out, because I have to be careful not to get too much stuff. As you can imagine, it starts to overflow from the cupboards. What's your dream sewing machine? So, dream, I don't know, I think I probably love a Pfaff. They're kind of like the Rolls Royce of sewing machines, aren't they really? I would really like an electronic machine that cut the thread, and nothing that's too many bells and whistles. I think more basic machines that you spend more money on are probably better than cheaper machines that have all the bells and whistles, because a lot of the time they don't work as well, or they're not as good as the more expensive machines. And I've got a Frista Rossmann, and when I bought that I was like, oh, look at all the embroidery stitches, and it will do this and it will do that. And actually in day-to-day sewing I don't tend to use those embroidery stitches. I think I probably would have been better off spending my money on a decent sewing machine that was a bit more basic but would sew beautifully, if you see what I mean. But I would love a Pfaff, that would be awesome. And I would really love a cover stitch machine because I'm well into jersey sewing, so that would be great. My proudest make. So my proudest make is probably my son's fox coat. In fact, I made my son and my daughter both coats, one black cat one and one fox one, and I'm really proud of those. And whenever people compliment me on those coats or say, oh, what a lovely coat, and I'm like, oh yeah, I made it, people are like, no way. I think it's something funny about because coat making is quite an involved process and there's lots of pieces, and it's not necessarily difficult because well, those fox coats, they're not difficult, it's all straight line sewing, but because they look pretty spectacular, people don't seem to be able to believe that you can create your own coat. So my definite make for next winter is going to be a coat for myself, because I've never made myself a coat. Right, my most used pattern, that's probably going to be a kid's, I don't know though, I don't know. I like the Frankie tee from Tilling the Buttons, I've made loads of those. The Derwent trousers from Wendy Ward, I really enjoy making those, and I've used that pattern quite a lot. I think my most used pattern is probably going to be a sun hat pattern. It's the Oliver+S Bucket Hat, which is a children's hat pattern that I have made every summer for the last 4 years perhaps for my kids, ever since they were small babies. So yeah, they're just starting. My eldest is 11 now, so she's just starting to find bucket hats totally uncool and now wants to wear caps. So I think I probably won't make any this year, but next year might be one of the last years that I make that pattern, and that's kind of sad. They're growing up. Next question is printed or PDF? I do not like PDF patterns. I don't know whether you guys are the same, but I hate sticking those things together. It's just another step that gets in the way of the fun bit, which is the sewing. So I like the convenience of PDF patterns. I love the fact that you can download them and print them out at home. I hate sticking them together. I have recently found a print shop nearby. Well, there's a big fly in here now. That will print them out for me for the cost of about £2.50 per page, so that's quite reasonable. So I don't stick them together anymore. I will take them straight to the print shop on a USB key. I have to really want a pattern to buy as PDF, and usually it would have to be something relatively straightforward, like the Ogden cami, for example, which I was happy to stick that together because it's quite small. But if I was going to attempt something big, there's no way I'd buy a PDF. I definitely prefer printed patterns. Yeah, I like the packaging. I like the fact that the pattern, you sort of like own it physically. It's there in its packet, and you can trace it off. And I like shopping for patterns that are printed. Yeah, I'm definitely a printed girl. And then the last question I've chosen from the list is how my style has changed since I started sewing. And I think the answer to that would be I'm a lot more confident with my clothes since I learned how to make my own. So for some weird reason, when you can sew your own clothes, and I don't know if you guys would agree, that actually you get a bit braver. You try things that you wouldn't probably buy in a shop or even try on in a shop. You can see something and think, oh, I'm going to have a go at that, see if I can make it. And then once you've made it, you want to wear it. So I would say that my style has sort of changed quite significantly. A lot more colourful clothes, a lot more interesting clothes. So, you know, there's obviously days where I'm just wearing jeans and a t-shirt like today, but it's not just any old t-shirt. It's, you know, quite a cool funky t-shirt. So yeah, I think I'm braver and more inclined to try different shapes and silhouettes because I can make them myself. And if you've made it yourself, then you love it, don't you? So yeah, most times anyway, unless it's a bit of a fail. I've had plenty of those, I can tell you. So that was all the questions for the So Many Questions tag. You'll be glad to hear that my Sojo has made a return. I have started really thinking about what I want to make next. So I will keep you posted, and hopefully, I'm not very good at plans videos because I'm kind of impulsive and I like to make things when I feel like making them rather than having to plan to make them, because sometimes when I plan stuff, it kind of takes the fun out of it, if you see what I mean. So yeah, let me know what you would like to see next. People tend to love watching makes and hauls videos. I will be buying, there's a couple of patterns I've got my eye on. I'm hoping not to splurge any money on fabric, but no, I've got to sew up the fabric I've got first. There's a couple of t-shirt patterns that I really want to have a go at. So next time I come back, we'll talk more about what I am hoping to make and maybe what I have made. Thanks so much for watching. Please press that subscribe button if you like my video today and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Thanks then. Bye.